Is this the dawning of the age of Aquarius? Well, it very well could be, not only because it is freshly Leo season, which means we are all allowed to burst out into song whenever we want to, right? Chronically, obnoxiously, frequently, frantically, but because the North Node of Destiny just moved into Aquarius for the first time since literally the end of 2007. 19 years. And also, not to mention that this week we have a full moon in Aquarius, the last normal lunation before eclipse season. And during that lunation, during this full moon, the sun and Jupiter, the planet of luck and fortune, you may know this planet as Casino Daddy, well, they're meeting at the exact same point in the sky. So during this full moon, we are not becoming werewolves. No. We are becoming superstars. We are becoming superheroes. We are going to fight all the villains and save the world. And maybe we'll all round it out with a great musical number at the end. So grab your cup, darling, because we're blasting into a new timeline. And this one sings. Hello, boys and girls, gays and nays, divas and devos. Welcome to AstroloTea with Aliza Kelly. I am your host and your spiritual friend, Aliza Kelly, and I am so happy that you are here. Hello, community. This is your weekly brew. I serve it to you hot and fresh every single Monday, and the theme of the week is Blast Off, and the top 3 things you need to know are, number 1, the nodes just changed signs, and this is so incredibly major. The nodes represent fate and destiny and karma and purpose and power, and they are now on the Leo and Aquarius axis, where they will remain until 2028. The North Node is in Aquarius, the South Node is in Leo, and we haven't seen this configuration in 19 years. That's tea. Oh, and we have this stunning, gorgeous, dazzling, very meaningful full moon in Aquarius this week. Yes, we do. It's the last lunation before eclipse season begins and drags us by the hair to wherever we need to go. And that means that this is our last chance to set intentions and make magic, okay? And this full moon is begging us to find inspiration, real, genuine inspiration. And I know that we are going to, because, my friends, Jupiter, aka Casino Daddy, aka the planet of luck and fortune and expansion, was invited to the party. And boy, oh boy, Jupes accepted the invitation. And when Jupes comes, you know you are in for a real treat, okay? It's Jupiter Cazimi, which means this high-rolling bad boy is making out with the sun. Scandalous! Exactly as this full moon is touching down. It's an orgy, and everyone is hot and bothered in a great, excited, horny, filled with new possibilities sort of way. If you are new here, welcome. Wow, what a way to join us, right? But what a week, really, to join the party. We are so glad that you're here. We have been waiting for you. I serve tea every Monday and every Wednesday, so be sure to follow and subscribe so you never ever miss a brew. Also, a reminder, and we're going to be talking about this more in a moment, but I am hosting my absolute favorite coven meeting ever of the whole year for this full moon in Aquarius. It's taking place on Wednesday, July 29th in the Constellation Club. We are going to be making spiritual remote controls, which I'm going to tell you about in just a moment how they work. But you can sort of think of them as these tiny little vision boards. This is our 5th 6 year? This is our 6th year making them. These are not passive little things, okay? They are supercharged with very high frequency energy. They are actually electric, and literally everything that you put on your spiritual remote control comes true. I am not even kidding. Wait until I show you what I did in 2025 and how everything came to fruition. You are going to freak out. Anyway, this is in the Constellation Club. You are invited. It's on this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but replays are available if you can't make the live. Head over to Constellation-Club to join. That's Constellation-Club, and I can't wait to see you there. Okay, weekly brew time. It's coming right up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break. Okay, beautiful community. Hello, hello. We have a lot to discuss today. We have got a hot one for you today, tonight, whatever time it is that you have decided to sip with us. We have a hottie patati, cutie patootie week ahead because we are talking about some very rare, very exciting, very important astrology, and it is truly the age of Aquarius, so I hope you're feeling freaky deaky. Now, if you happen to be at the Joe's Pub Show in New York a few weeks ago, this is the first time I am recording since then. Take me back there. Wow, what an unbelievable night that was, right? But you have probably had that song stuck in your head since then, right? If you know, you know. But also TANK, for any new listeners, TANK is an acronym that means there are no coincidences. It's something that we shout out all the time because, hey, there really are no coincidences, right? Well, TANK, 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 tank. We sang that song at Joe's Pub a few weeks ago, and we are singing it this week because we are stacked with Aquarius energy. There is so much in the sky that is beckoning us towards those Aquarian horizons, and there's nothing we can do but accept. There's nothing we can do but surrender. All right, future, here we come. That electrical buzz, right? It's happening. It's loud. Buzz, 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 buzz. Can you hear it now? Right as we were all brushing our teeth and tucking ourselves into bed last night, the nodes of destiny in the sky gently glided onto a new axis. Yes, they glided onto the Leo-Aquarius axis, thus marking the beginning of a whole new fucking era and the north node of the future, of where we are going, of what we are looking towards is in Aquarius, which means it is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So let's talk about what this means, okay? Let's talk about what it means for you. The nodes, also referred to as the lunar nodes, are the upper and lower boundaries of the moon's orbit, okay? The moon isn't just circling Earth in a straight line. It's not just, this flat experience. No, it has dimension. It has a little wobble, a little wiggle wobble to it. So imagine, s'il vous plaît, the orbit of the moon as this sort of like very slow moving spinning top or a dreidel. And there's always going to be a section of said spinning top or dreidel that is high at that very highest point. And then directly across from it, directly diagonally from that highest point is the lowest point, right? The highest point is the north node and the lowest point is the south node. These are the highest and lowest points of the moon's orbit, and these are the lunar nodes. These are the points that we are referring to when we talk about the north and south node. Now, this whole wiggle wobble from a timing perspective takes about 19 years, okay? So that means every zodiac sign gets about 18 months at the top before the wiggle wobble moves into its next sign. And this is really interesting, right? Because when we're talking about the wiggle wobble, when we're talking about the highest, we're also talking about the lowest. So when we're talking about the nodes, we're talking about an axis. We're talking about opposite signs. And every 18 months, the nodes switch into new signs, thus marking the beginning of a new axis, a new chapter, a new 18-month-long story. So right now, just hours ago, the north node shifted into Aquarius. And this is where the north node is going to be for the next 18 months. And naturally, subsequently, the lowest point is going to be in Leo. Aquarius is opposite. So for the next 18 months, we're going to have a north node in Aquarius and a south node in Leo. And because this whole orbit takes 19 years, this is why we haven't seen the north node in Aquarius in 19 years. The north node was last in Aquarius in 2007. Yes, its last entrance was December 2007. And we had the north node in Aquarius and the south node in Leo from December 2007 until August 2009. So wow, That's a long time ago. Think about what was going on in your life at that time. Really thinking, like locking into primarily 2008, the first half of 2009. What were the themes? What were the stories? What were the narratives? What were you doing? Who was involved? What did you care about? Because those stories are going to be reactivated. And, I just can't help but think of a certain presidential election here in the good old US of A that corresponded with that timing, right? Just saying. Interesting to be back there. We haven't seen that since then. So what could be? What will happen? We shall see. Of course, what's also interesting and something else you should know is that even though we haven't seen the North Node in Aquarius since that time, we have been on this Leo Aquarius axis since then, but it was the opposite configuration because the nodes are back on the same axis, switching signs every 8-9 years. We have the North Node in Aquarius here, but when we go to the halfway point in the cycle, North Node in Leo. You get it, right? We switch who's on top. So we last had the North Node in Leo from 2017 to 2019 formally, but that cycle was kicked off by a lunar eclipse in Aquarius that took place August 2016. But I also have to think about the fact that, another presidential election in 2016, another very big pivot here in the USA. Now that's interesting. It's interesting that that was the opposite of where we were 2007, 2008, 2009. Then we were in the sort of reversal 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And now we're back to where we were 2007, 2008, 2009. Listen. I'm just saying, okay, to my fellow pattern identifiers, my pattern recognizers, my pattern princesses and princes and royal playmates. What do you think about this? This is tea. No doubt it is tea. Okay, there's a lot more to say about the nodes, and we are going to say it. We actually are going to talk all about the nodes on Wednesday. We are going to do a whole deep, steep tea party on the nodes, the North Node, the South Node, the nodes in the sky, the nodes in your birth chart, what they mean for you, what they say about your destiny. It's going to be such an amazing episode. I'm so excited to share it with you. But right now, I want you to be aware of two things, okay? Number one, if your nodes are in Leo and Aquarius, this is going to be a tremendously powerful chapter in your life, guided by fate and destiny and a whole lot of recalibration. And number two, on a collective level, this is really a movement towards humanity, towards revolution, towards evolution, towards justice, towards creating new sustainable ways of living that are anchored around the future instead of the past. Not to mention that we also have this dazzling, enchanted, bellissimo full moon in Aquarius this week, which is absolutely doing the most, okay? First, it's the last normal lunation before the solar eclipse in Leo comes barreling in. And by the way, if you have not yet registered for my solar eclipse retreat, check it out right now. You are not going to want to miss it. It's all about the nodes and the eclipses and unlocking destiny in your chart. It's 3 gorgeous days in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley. So Victorian era coded. Head over to tinyurl.com/Aliza-retreat. That's tinyurl.com/Aliza-retreat if you want to learn more and register while you still can. Okay, but back to this full moon. It is the last full moon before eclipse season, and it is also defined by the promise of a better tomorrow. That's it. Truly. Period. Okay? The nodes changed signs just right now, and then bam, the full moon arrives, and it is like moving into a new house and immediately throwing a giant party. You have not unpacked yet, but you're popping bottles. You invited the neighbors. Old friends are coming through with plates of food. You don't know where you're going to put anything, but you love the vibe. It's a party. It's a connection. It's a flowy love fest. And you're like, yes, this is how I want to establish this new chapter of my life. That is exactly what this full moon in Aquarius is like. Now, remember, every full moon is a conversation. The sun is bright and gorgeous in one sign, as always. And the moon here in a full moon has decided to also, take up space, right? The moon doesn't always want to be seen, but during a full moon, she definitely needs to be seen, demands to be seen. And here the sun and the moon are staring at each other from across the room. Tension. They're both illuminated. They're both hot and bright. And they both believe they are 100% right about everything. And if you know anything about a sun in Leo and a moon in Aquarius, or just broadly Leo, Aquarius energy at large, you know that both of these signs think they know everything about everything. They think they're always right. So an opposing sun in Leo, moon in Aquarius, ooh, yikes. But honey, don't worry. The point of a full moon isn't to try to pick a winner. This is not Sparta, okay? This is a full moon where we are tasked to really explore both perspectives and ultimately find the core truth, right? To find where the sun and the moon meet in the middle. And that's why full moons ultimately bring these culminating moments, these revelations, these breakthroughs. They're not trying to say it's this or that. It's really about shining a flashlight on something that has been there the whole time, but we haven't been able to fully acknowledge in its totality because we didn't have the full scope of the perspective. Now, this particular full moon is really asking us to bridge two fascinating polarities, okay? The Leo and Aquarius of it all. Leo is the ruler, the king of the jungle, the brightest star in the sky. It says, look at me. And Aquarius, which is the vessel that contains the emotions, the people, the cultures, the society, the civilizations at large. It's really the sort of the holder of all of that, right? It is not the emotion. It is the space where the emotion goes, right? It's clinical. Aquarius says, make things matter to everyone and everything inside of my vase. If this is not something that is going to benefit the entire vessel and the contents of the entire vessel, then honey, we don't need it. We don't want it. We don't care. T. Leo reminds us that every single person has the sun in them, right? Like every single person is a universe and is the entire totality of the microcosms and the macrocosms. Every person is a star, right? Aquarius reminds us that stars are part of constellations and planets are part of galaxies. And we are living and breathing and flowing through these delicate systems that rely on all parts to create this ultimate harmony. But the beauty of this Leo and Aquarius axis is that we really can have it all. On one end of it, we are being invited to find our passions and our talents and our unique voice. That's the Leo side. And then the other part of the equation, the Aquarius side, is ensuring that these skills are actually going to be of value to the world, to our communities, to our fans, to our audiences, to our cities, to our townships, to making the world a better place, okay? Your talents are only as good as your ability to put them to use. And that is where Leo and Aquarius come together. And then, as if this wasn't dramatic enough, hello Leo season, Pluto is also present. Pluto is sitting right there next to the moon in Aquarius. Pluto, which was just part of Barbo's bananas basket, is still at 4 degrees of Aquarius, and Pluto is saying, baby, hello, can I come? It's giving Maleficent, okay? This is about long-term epic transformation. It's about endings and rebirth and deep spiritual awakenings and truth and rising from the ashes, even when you felt your wings were covered with soot and there would be no way you could ever fly again. But honey, you are not just flying, you are soaring. So when Pluto joins this full moon, we realize that in order to actually get there, we need to accept endings as part of this inevitable experience. So under this full moon, you may realize, hey, I've actually outgrown this friendship or this partnership or this job or this identity or this lifestyle, whatever it is. You may suddenly have a flash of realization that you have been giving away your power, that you have been giving away way too much of your selfhood. And you may also discover a strength that you didn't even know you had access to. Woo! It's really supercharged. It's really powerful. It's very Persephone. And it's really very shadow self-integration. And you know we love to see that. And this all brings me to that pièce de résistance. What was that, Barbeau? Yes. Yes, that was French. Because the moon obviously is having a whole emotional, deep, therapeutic dialogue with Pluto. But the sun is making out with Jupiter. Ah! Sexy fun! I mean, friends, okay? How can we not get more tank than this? There are no coincidences. That's tank. This is the tank of all tanks. This is the essence of there are no coincidences. Because here we have a Jupiter Cazimi. Jupiter is sitting in the heart of the sun. In medical astrology, Leo rules the heart. It is ruled also by the sun. So here we have Jupiter tucked into the Cazimi in the heart of the sun, the Leo of it all, at the exact moment that this full moon is reaching its peak. What? Exact moment? Yes, honey, exact. And this is not a joke, okay? Jupiter is expansion, it's bounty, it's abundance, it's fortune, it's opportunity. Listen, we call Jupiter Casino Daddy for a reason. Jupiter magnifies everything it touches. It opened doors. It reminds us that, hey, we can throw the dice, we can live a little, we can take the risk, we can stay out late. We have a whole episode on Jupiter, what it means for you, what it means in your birth chart. So be sure to check out that episode if you haven't had a chance yet, because you're gonna love the Jupiter lore, okay? Now this week, on this full moon, Jupiter and the sun are linking up as they do once a year. And when they do, that day is considered among the luckiest days of the year, but Jupiter just entered Leo for the first time since 2014. And therefore, Jupiter and the sun have not made out in Leo since 2014. July 2014, okay? So go look at your photos, scroll, back in time, go into your emails, read your old journals. What was going on in your life 12 years ago? Who was involved? What were you doing? What was at stake? What was at play? What version of yourself was expanding then? Because Jupiter in these 12-year cycles isn't just about repeating the past. No, honey, it's about reorganizing and recognizing how much you've grown and what you need to do now. This is your chance to expand on that full potential that you probably knew you needed to be tapping into then, but you didn't have the resources or the know-how to figure out how to really experience it all. And we also have Pluto burning it all down, right? Burning down the limiting beliefs, burning down the psychological obstructions, burning down the ancient insecurities that stand in your way, working with Mama Moon. Well, honey, let's fucking go. So I have to tell you again about my 6th annual spiritual remote control coven meeting in the Constellation Club happening on Wednesday, July 29th. So I'm going to show you some of these little remote controls from over the years. We make these spiritual remote controls that are linked to manifestations, but then we charge them, okay? We charge them with energy. We calibrate their frequency. How do we do it? Honey, you got to attend. That's the secret sauce. That's the real magic part. And then we turn them on, and then we watch how everything that we manifest and place on these spiritual remote controls comes to fruition. Oh my God. And honey, I have to tell you, the track record is insane, not just mine. We have testimonies from our Constellation Club members, but let me just show you a few of mine, okay? This is the OG. For those who are just listening to this episode, I'm holding up the oldest little remote control, which has a picture of Vin Diesel on it, making a heart with his hands and a very cute dog. Later this year, Vin Diesel received a copy of my book, a requested copy. Did you know that Vin Diesel's mom is an astrologer? And this dog that was just, I just thought was cute, actually turned out to be a famous dog and was in the dressing room next to mine when I was on the Drew Barrymore show, which was so tank, so magical. Also, like, what a slay, what a slay to have an appearance on the same day as this famous dog. Going through time, was it the next year that I made this remote control that was all about like fertility? This was the year I got pregnant. And then last year's spiritual remote control. Oh my God. Okay, so I put Cola Scola on it. I put this like disco ball, magical sort of like electricity orb on it. I put Nathan Fielder on it, obviously. On the back, it says yoga. It says entertain. The main thing is that this spiritual remote control was all about tapping into my work as an artist, as a creative, as somebody who can take the work that I have been doing for so many years on an astrological and spiritual level and create new types of art and performance through it. And this was the year that I premiered the tea parties in LA and in New York. And the real tea is that in New York, this show was at Joe's Pub. Cola Scola got their start at Joe's Pub. What? Yeah, so these spiritual remote controls are incredibly magical. And every year I look forward to the time that we can make a new one. And I'm just so excited about this one. So I hope that you'll join us, okay? I hope you'll join constellation-club.com. The link is also in the show notes. You're going to love the Constellation Club. You are going to love our Coven meeting, especially this one. I can't wait to see you there. All right, well, speaking of magic, here is your journal prompt for the week ahead. What would change if I truly embraced the fact that my creativity, my leadership, and my confidence make the world a better place? And now, let's pull a card. It's tarot time. It's tarot time. Our tarot card for the week ahead. If you're new here, hi. I'm Aliza. These are the tarot cards. This is the teacup. This is the plant. This is the mic. This is us. It's just us here, right? Kind of literally. We're going to pull a card for the week ahead and see what the vibe is, okay? We do this every week to get a different, layered, nuanced perspective. So really, when we pull this card, we're going to be thinking about the full moon in Aquarius. We're going to be thinking about the nodes. We're going to be thinking about this like very powerful turning point. The theme of the week is blast off. We are blasting off into the future. So I wonder what that's going to look like from a tarot point of view. Here we go. Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Ooh la la. So friends, we pulled the Two of Swords. Last week we pulled the Two of Cups. So that's really interesting that from one week to a next, we are still in these very early beginnings of a journey. Two of Swords is a really stunning, very misunderstood card. And there's actually so many different layers and levels of interpretations to it. One of them is the fact that the Two of Swords is depicting a figure who is very, very much on guard, defensive, protective, swords are up, sitting in a very alert position, blindfolded, and thus can't see, hey, there's no danger. Hey, there's no risk. There's nothing to stress about. Everything is okay. So on one hand, this could indicate that perhaps if we're coming into this week with some anxieties, maybe they're historic anxieties as opposed to actually things that are real threats to our life and our infrastructure right now. Another piece of this card that I think is so cool and meaningful is that the two crossed swords is also a visual allusion to a kingdom. It's a visual allusion to like the gates of heaven. Two crossed keys is the gates of heaven. So having this individual present these swords in this way, crossing these two swords, also could indicate that we are on the precipice of entering a very important sacred space, spiritually, emotionally, or even from an opportunity perspective, that we are stepping into a new angle, that we're stepping into a new era, that we're really given this entry. And in order for us to know where we're going, we do need to take our blindfold off, to just peek through and understand that what we are perceiving as something that could be scary or unknown or unfamiliar or even dangerous may actually just be the growing pains of entering a space that is a level up. So, j'adore. Two of Swords. It's air energy. Swords are associated with air. We love to see it. Coming up, I have your horoscope. You bet I do. Stay tuned. And we will be right back with the tea, your horoscope, right after this quick break. Welcome back, friends. It's time for your horoscope, your poroscope, and boy, oh boy, I cannot wait to surf. As always, I want to remind you, you can listen for your sun, you can listen for your rising, you can listen for your moon. These are about the energetics, baby. So listen wherever you are feeling inspired, ignited, and curious. Also, keep in mind, I'm going to go in zodiacal order. We're going to start with Aries, we're going to end with Pisces, and I invite you to just set it and forget it. Really go through the whole journey, because you know someone who's every sign. You want to see the arc. You want to hear the narrative. You want to understand the mythology. So let's get into it, because, honey, this tea is piping hot for a reason. Aries, you're about to meet someone who is going to change your life. I know, but what can I say? That's the tea. That is what this Aquarius full moon is all about for you. It is all about activating your connections and your communities and your collaborations and the people who are eager to build the future that you want to see alongside you. Aries full moons are all about big reveals. It's drama, drama, drama. Especially because this one is featuring a Leo sun, hello, and you, a fellow fire sign, know a thing or two about bringing le heat. Aries, have you noticed how certain friendships have started to feel a little more buzzy? Or maybe you have found yourself thinking bigger, dreaming bigger, because you're realizing that, oh my gosh, these people believe in me. These people are my cheerleaders. These people are giving me permission to take my ideas a step further. We love to see it, Aries. And that is exactly what this lunation wants to amplify. Sometimes we think that these opportunities are going to arrive in these big, grandiose fireworks, confetti, very before and after sort of ways. But the truth is, Aries, that there is this gradual unfolding that comes by way of conversations and introductions, meeting someone at the right time, or someone seeing what you're up to and acknowledging it and being like, hey, I actually think that you'd be really good for this thing that has the potential to change your life forever. You see what I mean? Also, honey, the Sun and Jupiter are meeting in the area of your chart linked to creativity and joy and romance and self-expression. And it's a reminder that your gifts are not meant to stay hidden. No, no, no. The people that you're meeting right now aren't just your cheerleaders, Aries. They are, in fact, calling upon you to step in to your highest vibration of whatever it is, your art, your leadership, your ideas, your heart, your truth, your authenticity. All of this is going to get bigger and brighter when it is fanned by the right kind of flames. Plus, Aries, the nodes are moving onto the Leo and Aquarius axis. So this full moon this week is really your first glimpse of the story that you are going to be living out into 2028. Honey, Aries, take this in, okay? The communities that you are investing in, the collaborators that you love working with, the goals that you are excited to chase, all of that is going to start to be really clarified right now and then refined and defined over the next 18 months and beyond, right? This is your destiny we're talking about. That's tea. So this week, you are really at the very beginning of a brand new chapter. Maybe you're at the beginning of a new book, Aries. So let's make it a good one. Taurus, are you about to get a promotion? Are you about to be selected for a very competitive opportunity? Are you about to win an award? Oh my God, go off, Taurus. You deserve it. And hey, don't forget about us little people when you're up there making that acceptance speech. But I'm serious, Taurus. Whether or not your job title is changing or you are holding an Emmy this week is almost besides the point, because this Aquarius full moon is going to be illuminating your purpose, your reputation, yes ma'am, and the legacy that you have been chipping away at. You're right, sir. You have been putting in the work. You have been showing up. You have been building this damn thing brick by brick for months, probably for years. Perhaps even decades. Am I right, Taurus? And now the universe wants you to really define not just your success, but your impact. What do you want to be known for, Taurus? That's exactly where you need to be right now. That's where you should be, as you have been slowly chipping away at this gorgeous journey, this gorgeous behemoth of a legacy that you have been cultivating. Meanwhile, the Sun and Jupiter, both in Leo, Leo being a like-minded fixed sign and a like-minded very large animal, as I think about it, are both pouring a gorgeous golden light onto your foundations. And for you, it's a reminder that real success does always begin at your core. I'm talking your relationships, your family, your emotional security. I'm talking about your sense of belonging and how that is ultimately the fuel for everything that you are generating and expressing out in the world. Taurus, the stronger that your roots become this week, the higher that you are going to be able to grow. Yes, you are a tree. You are a gorgeous maple tree. And don't you forget it. Listen, honey, I don't want you feeling like with this full moon, you are being pulled in opposite directions, that you need to choose between building a beautiful life and building an impressive career. Taurus, you can do both. You can have your cake and eat it too. And yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing at an enchanted tea party, having your cake and eating it too. You can do it so long as you keep focused and stay steady on what actually matters. And you want to know what else that's crazy? Honey, this is only the beginning, okay? The nodes of destiny have just shifted into a brand new set of signs, okay? There is a brand new chapter that is underway as of this week and over the next 18 months with each and every eclipse. You are going to continue to define and redefine what success actually means to you. Some doors are going to open. Other doors are going to close. That's okay. We love doors. We love all kinds of doors. In fact, I am actually supposed to be looking for a door right now for a construction project in our house. Sort of like a vintage church door with some stained glass transpost windows. Maybe you can help me. But I do digress, Taurus. What you need to know is that all of these doors opening and closing and windows opening and closing and whatever else it is the architecture designed to help you get into the right spaces, into the right rooms at the right times. You feel me? All of this shifting energy is so that you can arrive at the version of yourself that is stepping into a life that is sustainable and authentic and frankly far more fulfilling than anything that you would have settled for in the past. Call it an upgrade. Hello, Gemini. Okay, your world is about to become a whole lot bigger. It's giving Aladdin. It's giving magic carpet ride, okay? This week, we have a saucy Aquarius full moon, and it demands that you stretch beyond what feels familiar. You are obviously naturally curious, the most curious, but honey, curiosity is not the destination anymore. That's just the station, baby. Now you got to get on the train, get into the plane, get into that new state of mind that actually helps you get out of the musty, dusty, boring sameness that your life has become. Gemini, is that tea? Yes, it's tea. Gemini, you need a change, and you need it now. But you don't have to yell, okay? Because the planets are going to hook you up. Pluto is involved in this full moon, and that means that, well, change is simply inevitable. You won't be able to avoid it. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is working overtime with the sun. And for you, this means more conversations, more ideas, more invitations, more plus ones. So talk as much as you need to right now, because the words that you speak are carrying a lot of influence, because you are coming into this new chapter with a different intention. You are not just talking your way onto this hamster wheel. No, you are talking because you are connecting the dots that are going to help you illuminate new constellations, new possibilities, new mythologies, new narratives that are going to help you get to new places. Be it a new professional opportunity, be it a new friend group, be it a new way of just living, laughing, and loving your life. Gemini, the nodes are changing, okay? And that means that whatever magic happens this week, and magic will be happening this week, is going to be speaking to the extraordinary shifts that are just beginning. You are becoming a teacher, a storyteller, a guide, an expert in ways that you didn't expect to. And that's really cool. And every single time you say yes to finding the confidence to step towards this bigger life, you really are saying yes to the destiny that you have been waiting for all along. So don't be afraid to claim what you've always known should be yours. Cancer, hold my hand, claw to hand, claw to hand. Take it. Come on, take it. This week, I need you to know, and I need you to really let this sink in. You don't owe anyone anything. What? Yes. If it feels like you have been walking on eggshells, tiptoeing across a tightrope, one step away from being kicked off the pedestal, honey, it's time to tap out. This is not safe, this is not sustainable, and frankly, it's not fucking okay. This Aquarius full moon is illuminating the places where you have been pouring out way too much, emotionally, financially, energetically, spiritually. If you have started to believe that the love that you are receiving is something that you need to earn, that one mistake and your life is going to be ruined, or that you need to keep holding everything up because this is the only way forward, Cancer, don't be surprised if all of those plates come crashing down this week. It's not that the universe is trying to punish you. In fact, it is trying to protect you. It's helping you remember that your worth is not tied to your output. No, it is not tied to KPIs. It is not tied to how much you can get done in the day or how many compliments you can lather somebody up with. Ew. There is no superficial measurement that is going to define your worth because, honey, you are worthy. You are valuable. And you are important just simply being as you are. No notes. So listen, Cancer, with this full moon, Pluto, the shadow work planet, is also involved. It's sitting right next to the moon, your planetary ruler. And Pluto has no interest in keeping up appearances, okay? Pluto wants the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And Pluto knows that you have not been fully honest. Pluto knows that you have been struggling with your authenticity. And Pluto wants you, needs you to remember that you are a bad bitch and you take shit from no one. What? Oh, not to mention, the nodes have just shifted into a brand new cycle that is going to be reshaping your relationship with trust and intimacy and self-worth and shared resources now through the next 18 months, all the way into 2028. So really, this week is your first invitation to improve your personal paradigm. You don't have to carry everyone else's baggage. Honey, you have enough of your own. But also, enough with the baggage. Drop the luggage, okay? Tonight, we are traveling light. No more dead weight, Cancer. It's time to start anew with a tiny micro purse. Ta-da! Hello, Leo. Well, you are galloping us through quite a birthday season, huh? A lot of interesting energy for you in the sky right now, seeing as the North Node of Destiny just went into Aquarius, and we have a full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius, of course, being your opposite sign, but then we have Jupiter, casino daddy, planet of luck and fortune, making out with your sun, the sun in your sign, and Jupiter is in your sign for the first time in 12 years since 2014, and the South Node of the past is in Leo. Woo, Leo, how are you feeling? How are you navigating all of this? What the fuck is going on? Well, let me help. You are, right now, standing on the edge of something extraordinary. So why are you worried? You're wondering if it's safe to actually believe that this is real, that this is happening? Is this secure? Can you trust it? Are you ready? Honey, it's giving Two of Swords, okay? You are definitely in a very protective, defensive space right now. Not because you don't know what to do, but because you're not sure if it's safe for you to put your guard down. Is it safe for you to put your guard down? Honey, it is. In fact, you just have to. You have to try. You have to be brave enough to truly be present right now. You have to have the courage to really tap into your leadership, into your strength, into your potential. Even when things get hard, it's important to remember that you were born with so much courage and strength and integrity built into your identity. It's literally in your DNA. And that is what makes you so inspiring. There are people whose lives are better because they have crossed paths with yours. And not just because you razzle-dazzled them, but because you showed them what it looks like to exhibit real courage. And that is what this full moon in Aquarius and this whole week is all about for you. This is a week to inspire and be inspired, Leo. The people entering your life right now aren't here just to yes, ma'am, you, yes, lion, you. They are here to challenge you and push you and introduce you to ideas that you couldn't have accessed on your own. You needed their support to help you get there. So yeah, there might be some tension. And yes, that also means that through this discomfort, there may be some very big, exciting new narratives coming in, just entering the villa, new contracts, new relationships, new connections. Jupiter is involved. And Jupiter is the planet of luck and fortune. So yeah, maybe this is all going to be very tremendously abundant and lucky. I know you deserve it. And you're like, oh, I don't have to be that brave. I accept it. I embrace it with open arms. But really, whenever you are standing at a threshold, as you are right now, starting a new chapter, how you enter that space is really important. So put the swords down, Leo. Take the armor off. Be present, be yourself. And know that you are ready for whatever life throws at you. You are ready for this moment. And maybe, if you're lucky, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Hey, Virgo, can we talk about the fact that the thing that's holding you back is you? Ugh, don't be mad at me. I know, but I say it with love. I say it with respect. I say it with reverence, okay? This full moon in Aquarius is shining a giant spotlight on your routines and your habits and your work and your well-being. And that's okay, right? It's important. But when we look at those domains, why have they been feeling so sticky, so challenging, so insurmountable? Why does it feel like every single part of the workflow is getting in the way of the work, getting in the way of your progress? It's not supposed to be like this, is it? It's not. Virgo, you should know that Pluto is involved in this full moon. Pluto, the planet of transformation. Ever heard of it? And that means that we are talking about matters that are much more emotionally and psychologically complex than just calendar management. This is about changing your relationship with work altogether, because this is really about changing your relationship with time. Over the next 18 months, the nodes of destiny are going to take you on a wild ride. They are going to invite you to reclaim and redefine your time. not because you are going to somehow be presented with more hours in the day than anyone else. I wish that that could be something that we could all rotate and we can all get those magic beans and have a few more hours. No, this is because you are going to stop allocating your most precious resource, time, to meet other people's standards and expectations. Virgo, let me ask you, who cares about what time you wake up, so long as you feel good in your body? Who cares if you end up going to sleep a little later a couple of nights, if you are so immersed in what you're doing, you're in a flow state, and then you look at the time and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. No one is judging you. You can use your time in a way that actually inspires you and lights you up and makes sense for you. So stop worrying about how other people are going to perceive you in the way that you use your time. Because honey, this is not about time management. It's about you becoming so fiercely protective of what makes you light up and feel alive that you are reallocating your hours to ensure that they are serving all of your needs and functions. Listen, Virgo, at the end of the day, you are not going to remember how many emails you answered on a Tuesday afternoon, but you are going to remember those moments where you felt whole, where you were so present that you actually tapped into new expressions of purpose and joy and creativity and connection and play, new dimensions of possibility that you created out of thin air. Now that, my darling, is practical magic. Coming up, we have the second half of the zodiac to pour, so stay tuned for your personalized horoscope after a very short break. Welcome back, community. Let's get right back into it, okay? Your horoscope is coming up. Let's let the astrology spill where it may. Hi, Libra. Are you thirsty? Well, you're going to want to have a sip of this because, honey, someone has a crush on you. What a delicious brew. But wait, hold on. Before you start wedding planning just yet, let me tell you something that's very important, okay? Someone liking you doesn't automatically mean that you need to like them back. This full moon in Aquarius is illuminating romance and creativity and pleasure and the things that make your little heart a flitter. And with Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, joining the sun in Leo, making out with the sun, you are going to find yourself meeting new people, getting invited to new places, finding yourself in all sorts of interesting social situations. And Libra, I do want you to flirt. I do want you to have fun. I do want you to bask in the attention if it feels good. You are allowed to enjoy being desired without immediately needing to turn it into a lifelong commitment. And maybe Libra right now, you're going to want to keep your options open. This week and beyond, it is okay to entertain a few different avenues. It's okay to be texting 2 different people at the same time. And I hope you find yourself in a situation saying like, wait, I actually have a choice here because Libra, you do. And you have spent so much of your life trying to make everyone else feel chosen that maybe you forgot what it feels like to actually do a little choosing yourself. But this week, it's okay to let yourself be picky. It's okay to be a little mysterious. It's okay to be a little titillated by all of this attention on you. Yes, Libra, you deserve it. Now, the bigger picture narrative is that the nodes of destiny have just shifted into a new chapter. They're in new signs that they haven't been in for a very long time on the Leo Aquarius axis. And for you, it is fundamentally going to transform your relationship with joy. And this is really going to be a time where you can start to explore what it feels to be a little more free, where you don't have to feel so bogged down by so many commitments and responsibilities and obligations. And remember, Libra, there are people who are meant to stay in your life forever. And then there are other people who come in and they buy you a drink and they disappear into the night. That's beautiful. That's being alive. So Libra, have fun, okay? Let yourself surprise yourself And if you are already in a romantic relationship, committed, locked in, cuffed up, that is fine, okay? Apply this same sexy, flirty energy to every aspect of your life. Flirt with your art, flirt with your job, flirt with your career, flirt with the different futures that are available to you. It's okay to play. In fact, playing is the name of the game. Hi, Scorpio. Who's jealous of your success? Don't look around the room because, honey, you already know. And I get it. It can be very uncomfortable when you start outgrowing the people who you have known for so long. Maybe you're making more money than you were before. Maybe your career is starting to take off. Maybe you're just happier. Maybe you have done the therapy. You have broken the cycle. You've healed the wound. And suddenly someone else is uncomfortable with that. And it's making you question whether you should be pursuing that at all, whether you should stay small just to maybe keep the relationship intact, not rock the boat, not ruffle any feathers. Scorpio, absolutely not. This full moon in Aquarius is lighting up the foundation of your life, and it is demanding that you build your future on truth, not guilt. Pluto, your planetary ruler, is involved, which means this week is going to reveal dynamics that have been operating beneath the surface, probably for a very long time. It may be competition disguised as friendship. It may be resentment that shows up as strange jokes delivered at very odd times. Scorpio, pay attention, okay? If something is rubbing you the wrong way, it might be toxic. So don't put that on your skin. It's going to irritate it. Now, this week with the full moon, you really need to stop apologizing for your growth and evolution. I know that for some of you Scorpios, this may be hard to hear, but you are allowed to be more successful than your siblings. You are allowed to be more creative than your peers. You are allowed to have become more emotionally mature than your parents. T. Your growth isn't a betrayal. It's actually your path, just as the people in your life have their paths that they need to stay steady on. Not to mention, Scorpio, that the nodes of destiny have just begun a very new 18-month cycle in fixed signs. You're a fixed sign, and that is going to completely redefine your public life and your private life. And here's the thing, not everyone is going to come with you on this new journey. That's okay. Your job is not to shrink yourself so that everyone can fit into a fucking clown car. Your job is to keep growing until you are in rooms that had once intimidated you, that you are standing in spaces that you thought that you would never get invited into, where you had never imagined that once you were there, you would actually feel a sense of peace and comfort and belonging. But when you are there, you are going to realize that you do belong there, that you were invited there, and most importantly, Scorpio, that you're happy because you have done the work to get there. And that's T. Hello, Sagittarius. Well, somebody has a piece of very hot goss. And before you're like, oh, let me have a sip, well, let me warn you, not only is it hot, but by the end of the week, you might wish you hadn't asked for it. Because, honey, this full moon in Aquarius is not bringing petty drama, okay? It is serving critical information, the 411, but maybe also the 911, okay? Information that changes the way you see someone. Information that changes the way that you think about the past and the future and the present. Information that changes your life forever. Maybe somebody tells you something that was happening behind the scenes for the past 6 months or more, and you're like, okay. Maybe somebody accidentally lets something slip that you weren't supposed to know, but now you fucking know it. Maybe you stumble upon a conversation that you were not supposed to hear, but now that you know, it changes the entire landscape. It changes everything. How can you go back? And this is a hot cup of tea. And I really need you to consider, after you have burned your tongue on it, what you're going to do next. Are you going to keep making excuses for people, Sagittarius? I hope not. Are you going to keep trying to reframe this information so that you feel like this story is a little more palatable this story goes down a little bit more easily? I hope not. I hope that you finally accept that when someone tells you who they are, that you believe them the first time they do it. The nodes of destiny have just shifted onto a brand new axis, the Leo Aquarius axis, which is activating a whole new 18-month-long cycle that's going to continue through 2028 and is going to tremendously expand your worldview. And Jupiter is involved in the full moon this week, Jupiter, your planetary ruler, and it's turning the volume all the way up on wisdom, on truth, on perspective. So Sag, this week, do not dismiss the tea as mere gossip, okay? Because sometimes what looks like gossip is actually intelligence. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. It's the plot twist that makes the whole fucking movie make sense. You feel me? And once you have that knowledge, once you have that data, that information, don't put it back in the box. You need to work with it because that's your data now. That's your story. Hey, Capricorn. Okay, so don't tell the other signs I told you, but you were right. You were right about everything. What can I say? You always are. But you were specifically right about there being more on the table than you were given. You were right that you were denied tea. And I hate that for you. And we are going to make sure it never, ever happens again. Because this week and beyond, when you ask for more, you are no longer going to let anyone or anything gaslight or shame you into feeling like that's the best that you can get, into that's all there is. Because honey, you know, there's more. You can have more. You deserve more. You should have it. And I'm not just talking about money, although, yeah, I am talking about money too. This full moon in Aquarius is activating your entire relationship to value. Not just what things cost, but what you cost, okay? What you charge, what you accept. Capricorn, do you feel like you keep getting forced to accept things because accepting whatever those terms are going to make it easier for other people? It's going to be more comfortable for them? Honey, enough of that. Jupiter, Casino Daddy, is making out with the sun this week, and it's practically screaming more. It's orgasmic, right? It's saying more abundance, more pleasure, more support, more opportunities, more clients, more recognition, more cash, more, more, more. And before you're like, well, easy does it, Jupiter. That's quite enough. And maybe one day, no, Capricorn, right now. This is the week you need to negotiate. This is the week that you need to raise your rates. This is the week you pitch the big idea. This is the week you apply for that job or just, walk into that room in an 80s power suit with shoulder pads up to your ears because Capricorn, honey, you fucking invented the power suit. And here's the thing about abundance, okay? It loves confidence. It loves people who expect that abundance will be received and that good things happen to them. And Capricorn, when you adopt that mentality, watch as abundance comes waltzing into your life. The nodes of destiny have just begun a brand new 18-month-long story that is going to fundamentally reshape your relationship to resources and partnerships, value, worthiness. So you got to start now, okay? You got to start demanding more. You got to start getting more and never, ever apologize for your ambition. Be absolutely insufferable about it this week, okay? This is your permission to. Frankly, Capricorn, you advocating for yourself inspires all of us to be the best version of ourselves. And that's a really beautiful thing. And that's also paying it forward. Hey, Aquarius, is that you? I almost didn't recognize you because you look different. You look different, yeah. And you sound different, and your whole vibe is different. And what's going on in that mind of yours? Different thoughts, different ideas, different perspectives. Yep, I thought so. All right, Aquarius, let me give you the lay of the land. All right, this full moon is happening in your sign. It's the only full moon of the year in your sign. It just happens to be the final full moon before eclipse season. The North Node of Destiny just entered your sign for the first time since 2007. Pluto is sitting right there besides the moon in Aquarius, and Pluto is in your sign in Aquarius, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is getting down with the sun in Leo, your opposite sign, being like, who, me? And Aquarius, you're looking across the river and you're like, yes, you. Aquarius, I invite you to paddle towards that casino daddy, okay? Go towards that opportunity because you are going to do something absolutely amazing this week. How do I know? Just look at the astrology. This is really wild astrology for you, to have so many planets partnering up in your sign, to have the North Node of destiny, of future, moving into your sign right as the full moon in your sign is touching down, and Pluto in your sign is there too. Like, what? What are the odds? This energy is literally begging you to roll the dice, to take the risk, to leave your fears behind. So Aquarius, if there's something that you have been wanting to do, stop waiting for a sign. Or this is it. Consider this the sign, okay? This is your sign to actually take that leap of faith that you have been needing to take. This is also your sign to stop worrying about whether or not you embarrass yourself along the way. Stop worrying about what it's going to feel like to be a beginner again, and recognize that if you are going to paddle towards a new life for yourself, you do need to start at the very beginning. Honey, everyone that you admire was once a beginner at the thing that they are now famous for. That's tea. Over the next 18 months, with the North Node of destiny looking towards the future in your sign, you are going to discover entirely new parts of yourself, but only if you are willing to venture to places that you have never been before. So take that big meeting. Introduce yourself first. Say yes before you have figured out exactly how you're gonna pull it all off. Be a little awkward. Get a little experimental. Change your mind. Fuck it up. Try something new. This isn't the moment where you feel like you need to prove to everyone how smart you are. Aquarius, we know that you're smart, okay? You already did that. Great job. This is the chapter where you prove to yourself that you are not afraid of anything, including starting over. And j'adore Aquarius. This is so full moon coded. Hey Pisces, so you're psychic. You know it, I know it, we all know it. And before you're like, well, Aliza, gosh, everyone's intuitive. No. Pisces, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about the very, very special ways that your magic has been metabolized and expressed because you have this Pisces energy in your chart. Listen, I have never met a Pisces who isn't profoundly psychic in their own special way, whether that be through prophetic dreams, thinking about someone right before they call, walking into a room, feeling a spirit there, or like just even this deep sense of knowing what is going to happen before it happens, knowing the life that you are going to experience before you experience it. And Pisces, this is such an enchanted week, okay? We have this dazzling full moon in Aquarius, and I really need you to lean into the magic of it all because it's activating the most mysterious part of your chart. And Pluto is there too. And Pluto, the planet of transformation, is really wanting you, demanding, needing that you go very, very deep, that you go into those beautiful wells of sacred knowledge that are tucked away within your soul. Meanwhile, Jupiter, Casino Daddy, which back in the day used to be your planetary ruler, is working with the sun in Leo. And that energy is inspiring you to create some daily habits and rituals that can actually help strengthen your connection to spirit. This is an excellent time to cultivate a new meditation practice or learn tarot or explore automatic writing or divination or look into dream analysis or go deeper with your astrology practice. Your intuition isn't something that you should be swatting away like a fly. It actually needs a vessel. It needs a practice because, honey, the universe is trying to tell you something right now. Ding, ding, ding. There's a message for you that needs to be delivered to you because you are the only one who can receive it. Not to mention that the nodes of destiny have just started a new 18-month-long chapter that needs you to really become radically honest about these gifts. Pisces, stop dimming your connection to your sacred spiritual truth because you're worried that people are going to think you're weird. You have outgrown that, okay? We societally have outgrown that. Your magic is hard data, okay? Your vibes are hard data. And the more that you fully embrace your psychic abilities, the more extraordinary your life is going to become because you're going to be working with your hard data. Tank, there are no coincidences. And you are the inspiration for that acronym. And that is all for this Monday weekly brew. What did you think? What did you love? Did your horoscope resonate? Are you excited for this full moon in Aquarius? Are you going to join our coven meeting and make your spiritual remote control? It's happening on Wednesday. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think in that 5-star review. Of course, I'll see you at the tea party. That's our Wednesday episode here on AstroloTea. I'll also see you Wednesday in the Coven meeting and the Constellation Club. And then, of course, I'll be back next Monday and then the Wednesday and then Monday and Wednesday and Monday and Wednesday. Make sure you're subscribed and are following so you never, ever, ever miss one of these piping hot cups of delicious, celestial, cosmic chamomile tea with a C. Okay, goodbye.